Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Maverick Wolf. It is what it is podcast. Tonight with you, Bernard Daddy, and myself, Maverick Wolf. And here we go. Today we're talking about a little bit of some topics that some of us seem to find interesting. Some of us don't. But what do you guys believe of saying appreciation? Do you appreciate everybody? Do we appreciate everybody that is out there? That is one of the topics that I wanted to touch this week. You have anything to say about this, my friend?
I don't appreciate anybody.
Hey,
I
people,
pre- eh, it's the world we live in today. It's all me, 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 me. Seems you know. Um, I kind of as you know, and some of you know, I've been talking with our Russian brothers and sisters a lot, visiting the content creators on TikTok, um, and them as a people, I'm going to say, and this might be a very unpopular comment, but they remind me of what it was like living in the 80s, early
yes,
90s, where we had pride in our country. We didn't use it as a crutch for issues. We had pride in our cultures. We embraced our differences. We didn't use them as a weapon. We didn't use our culture as a weapon. We appreciate a more truer appreciation for fine arts. And we're also more appreciative. I mean, it was, people would do things not out of popularity. We should set up a GoFundMe page for so and so. Oh, I'm going to get a whole bunch of hits on this, type of thing. And back then, it was more. There's a lot more togetherness, a lot more closeness. It really makes you miss those times. And
yes,
and you get to see how some of the people that used to live through those have changed or adapted, I should say, to a lot of. I mean, just you can see it as just giving of gifts in TikTok. I see other, some content creators, gifts are coming across the screen left and right. They're not getting acknowledged, or like, oh, thank you for the galaxy, da 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 da. You give someone from another country a gift, for example, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, any country, pick one. They are all over the board loving you left and right.
oh yeah, they
Because
parade you.
yeah, because you took something out of your pocket and gave it to them. I'm not saying everybody's like that. It's not a global, but there is a trend of not really appreciating people.
Yeah, it's like one of the things that gets me is like, for example, and and this goes. I might get hit for this. I might get hated, but it goes with gender to gender, like male and female. We both, like most of us, both of us, some of us, even myself, sometimes I don't appreciate enough of what other people have done, or vice versa. It goes with my case, you know. But being underappreciated, it is one thing that gets me a lot because, like, we do things, we go out of our way, we help people, we do everything that we can, and then you see it go like boom, explodes. Oh, you're an invalid. You don't appreciate me and all that stuff. And I really don't look for the appreciation, but hey, every once in a while, at least be like, thank you for what you did, or thank you for your words, or thank you for for your support being there. Especially like that I've been seeing it, and this is gonna bring hate, but I've been seeing it in lives. Some of our lives, I go in, I get 7, 8 people. Some of your lives, I've been zero,
Mm-hmm.
maybe one. The same way with me. It goes back and forth. But you know, especially one of the reasons I wanted to touch this on appreciation and appreciate moment is because of parenthood. And you know this for a fact because you've been going through this a lot. I started going through this. I do most of what I can do, try to be the best I can be, and I still be underappreciated. I'm a father, got 2 kids. Yes, things didn't work out with me and my ex. She left with the kids. I'm trying my best to be the father I can be that I didn't have when I was growing up, but I'm not being appreciated. Like right now, like all you guys know, on the end of the month, I'll be going to Pennsylvania to see the kids. I only have a limited time edition to be with them, but it's that little time is going to make it out for everybody, and it's going to be good for them and for me. Hey, what's up, Lance? Thank you for joining. You know, so that part is good, and it also gets me like how, and this goes with mostly, and I will say some females on the other side of the border from the parenthood. They complain, oh, fathers are never there. Fathers don't care. Oh, you don't do this. But when you have a father that decides to be there, that is golden because not every man decides to be there or every woman decides to be there because it could be the same way. Like with you, your kids, yeah, your kids, your situation is complicated with their mother and all that stuff, you know. But she chose that. She was the one that chose for that to happen to her. I chose the other way around. I'm going to do this for my kids. I'm going to be there for my kids. Well, what do I get back in return? Oh, you're a deadbeat dad. Oh, you don't care about your kids.
You're
Oh,
da-
you live 20 miles away.
you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Because
Yep.
and this is not going to be very popular with some people, you're the father. You're the man. That's
Bingo.
why you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Let's to kind of add to what Freddie Mercury was talking about. Um, my situation is a little different. I had to do that. I had to say that because that's just you know. Kind of, sing Bohemian Rhapsody for me. Come on, just go. Deo. Yeah.
Mama.
But in my situation, the appreciation, it I'm still not I'm not appreciated for taking care of the kids with what limited
That is
income
true.
I have, and not getting, see, you're doing the right thing. You're doing everything you can within your power to do the right thing, and you're underappreciated. Now mine is the reverse. She chose not to do everything in her power, and but she's not appreciated. She's appreciated. I'm not appreciated. Because I'll tell you, when you talk about the inequality, if a father and husband and wife, they split, and the husband
Mhm.
or father decides, you know what, I can't afford to pay child support. I can't pay anything. I don't make that much. So you're not going to get zero from me.
Yep.
Social media and everyone else would be staking you to a pole, ready to burn you alive, and tell you, then you find a second or third job and you pay for those children. But what happens when the mother doesn't pay? Nothing.
Mhm.
And society goes, well, what does he expect? You don't have a job. Or you got a job that doesn't pay that much, so you can't pay. What does he want? You can't squeeze blood from a turnip. Oh,
We can do it the other way.
but the other way, you're telling me to get 2 or 3 jobs.
Yep.
So, and you, my friend, are doing more than you possibly can. And it sets the bar for, and kudos to all the fathers out there that try to do the best they can, that are underappreciated. We feel you. We know what you're going through. It's not always that way. Not always that way. We're just singling out the times that it is.
Yeah, it's like right now, like it is correct, Lance.
Yes.
What you say, it's a double-edged sword. It is true. It is completely double-edged sword. It's like put in this example: when you go on a date, right? Who pays?
Who
Who is
should
supposed?
pay?
Who should pay? Who is supposed to pay? When you go on a date. For me, I if I invite, I pay.
Makes sense.
The same way, like for me, I will consider it to be the same way around. If she invites me, she pays dinner. Let's say we go to the movie. Oh, let's have a movie. Let's go to the movies and have dinner. Okay, fine. So if you pay that, if you pay for the dinner, I can get the movies, or both ways, or we both pay. That's what
Yeah.
my
Dutch.
friend here is
Yep.
saying. But also for that mentality of, oh, if I go on a date with a man, like if I'm a girl, I'm going out with a man to pay. I mean, to date, he should pay. Then when he wants to have sex, you can't say no. Because if you're telling me that your time is so valuable that I have to pay for it, we got a problem. Why? Because your time is valuable, my time is valuable, and that we decide to share it together. That is the point right there. Now, we can go out. Hey, I'll pay dinner. Okay, I'll pay the movies. Fine. Oh, we're going to the movies. I pay for the tickets. You buy the popcorn. It's not that hard. And by the end of by the time you finish, oh, the movie was good. I don't I don't expect to have, you know, X afterwards, have fun afterwards or whatever. But hey, thank you very much for the evening I had. Blah, blah, blah. It's a perfect. Why? Because it is what we're talking about. Unappreciate. If you appreciate what somebody else does, goes out of his way to be with you, spend time. Hey, that is one point. The other way around, you know, it's with the whole situation. You know, we got to just figure out how to do things and be more willing to be out there and be, hey, appreciate you. It's like with most of the guys in Gundam and the Gunpla community and TikTok and people that follow me. Every time I see somebody and I see the hard work they're putting out there and what they're doing, my first words that come out after I say hi and all that stuff is, hey, just reminding you, I'm proud of what you're doing. I'm proud of you. Same thing like with you, the Lance, or anybody out there that I know. I'm proud of all you guys, and I'm appreciative of having you guys around. Why? Because it makes me better. It keeps me focused going where I'm going, especially between you and me. I appreciate it that you're here, that I met you and all that stuff. Why? Because since we met, I've been helping you. You've been helping me climb that ladder. I'm not going to let you fall. I might, I'm going to hold you and be like, I'm not going to pull you up, but I got you. The same way, the other way around. Because I know how hard it is to be in our shoes. And I just want people to, take the moment of the time and say, appreciate someone. Appreciate your children, kids, especially parents. A kid comes home, he has A's. Oh, it's good. All time straight A's. He gets a B, you want to beat the shit out of the kid. Or he gets an F. Oh, why are you lacking? of it. But you don't understand. He might be doing it to get your appreciation, to feel what it is of you appreciating him and giving him the time he needs. Because most of us, like for me, I was a 4.0 student from elementary to junior high. I got to a point where every time I come home and bring the report card, just put it on the table. I don't care. My sisters will bring report cards and they'll be appreciated, party around, and I'm like, hey, me, what's going on? And then I figure it out. I'm like, you know what? Don't care. Both. Just threw it out there. But, you know, it is, certain factors in life, that all these things, it's like with our brothers and sisters up in Ukraine and the other side of the world with the whole thing of Russia. They need, like you said before, every now and then, hey, those people are awesome. You get two, even one Russian that comes in and the first thing she's saying, thank you and all that in Russian. You just got to translate it in TikTok. If you're like, okay, wait, I don't understand. But when you get them, when you get them through, and start learning about them, learning about the culture, learning how things are, it's like you said before. It's like living back in the 80s, early 90s, where we had everything and we were proud as a nation and didn't care about technology that much like nowadays. Nowadays, everybody's on the freaking phone. You go to have dinner, everybody on the phone.
Yeah.
What you want to eat, you got to text the person to be able to figure out what they want to eat. Let me text you. Get off your phone.
Do what? I'm listening.
But it's just a little bit of everything. I'm listening. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you. Can you send it through text, please, so I can get it and I can respond back? It's just ridiculous the way things are changing and evolving nowadays. But that's what we hear.
Now, sometimes you got to adapt a little bit. It's like my kids. When I was growing up, when you were growing up, motherfucker.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. I'm gonna mail you. I'm gonna mail you what the hell is it? Airbag, glitter bomb. We screwed up. We got our asses whooped. One might even say, "Oh, your parents ruled through fear." Well, that's what life is. You don't speed because you're scared you're going to get caught, and you're scared you're going to go to jail. It's everything is through fear. Without some fear of repercussion, you won't. You'll keep your butt in line. Well, when it comes to child raising, sometimes and I'm sure every parent has said, I'm not going to be like my parents. Well, if that's all you're gonna do it. So I did the same thing with my kids. I was the physical disciplinarian. I'd get the belt out, I'd slap them on the butt, I'd do whatever. And then it got to the point, they want their phone, they want their computer, they want their video games. All right, start taking those away. Well, after a while, that shit just doesn't work. And one of the arguments that my ex and I used to have was, and the biggest one that she continued even through our divorce was, you undermined my authority because you gave the kid back her computer. I was like, you have to adapt. Taking it away is not doing any good. Well, then we just keep taking things away. Then she's going to sit in her room on the floor and sleep and not do any. And you still will not get what you need done. You have to adapt. So if calling them on the phone doesn't work, text them. Or leave a voicemail. Hey, send me a text when you get this or something. If taking their stuff away doesn't work, give it back. I say, all right, you get your computer back, but it's going to be locked until you get the dishes done. You get the dishes done, I'll let you play up until you're grounded for right now, so you can only play between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. And if you don't get the dishes done before 6 p.m., it'll stay locked until you get them done. So the quicker you get them done, the more game time you have. It's a win-win. Kids still gets to play their video games. You get the chores done like they were supposed to. So you got to kind of adapt with the technology and stuff. Not take it away from them, but make it work for you.
Oh yeah,
They'll
that's
sit
true.
there and
That's true.
think they're in. Oh, I'm in control. I'll get to. No, you're still not in control. Actually, neither one of you is in solid control. They have some, you have some. They release a little, you release a little. Um, and it's I don't know, it's and over time, you won't even have to worry about it. They'll get it done. I mean, I still have to remind mine every once in a while, and they're grown. Hey, could you do litter boxes, please? You know, oh, you shouldn't have to tell them. I get that, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't take but half a second to say, "Can you please get the litter boxes done?" So
Uh,
it's just
that's true. That's true.
for every
It's like
situation, for every child. Yes, exactly. You gotta. Everything's different for each child. My oldest, I have to treat her one way. My youngest, have to treat another way. Then they kind of see it like it's unfair. You treat her differently than I do. Well, yeah, but I treat you both equally in your own in the way I treat you. Since my youngest is stubborn as fuck, but
I mean, it will always go. It's like I believe the older we get, the different things go here and there. Because I remember nowadays a lot of people don't look at it this way, but when we were kids, we go out, we play in the streets, we run in the rain, jump in the snow, go to play around. Nowadays is go outside and play. For what?
graphics aren't as good out there.
Yeah, just go get some sun, and you see them. Okay, then you go outside and you think they're playing around on the playground or something, and they just what you doing? Playing outside? Let's go do some physical activity. There's more to than a tablet or a phone or a PlayStation. Yes, I'm a strong believer that if I tell you, okay, he needs to go outside and play. Okay, it's raining. I'm going to be playing my video games. Hey, go ahead. I'm not going to have you, like if it's pouring cats and dogs and lightning and all that stuff, I'm not going to have you, go through that. Yep, you got to live with a difference. Okay.
He's was a gunpla builder
Yeah,
say
there's
you gotta
plans.
beat him with a different item. My oldest, I use a bat. My youngest, I use a pillow.
Football. Yeah, my son is football because he can't catch. My youngest beat him with pillows. Yeah, it's like, back in the day, like, hey, most of us that grew up, you saw this, like I showed you last time. You saw this running around in the house, or your mom comes out of the room with this in the hand. Run.
Ours was a
Plead for
belt.
your life. Plead for your life. Anything you just like, no, please don't. Holy Father.
Ours was my dad's 2-inch wide leather belt, brown leather belt, and it had whoosh, that snap. We were
Yeah.
all he come downstairs. We were all at the house. This was a few years back. He come downstairs and he cracked that belt. All three of us ran outside. We just we're grown up. We got our kids in the room and everything. We took off running. They're like, "What the hell are you running for? You have no idea what that thing is. You don't know what that is. That's no. Grandpa can whoop you with that thing from 2 states away. That's I mean, but you know, and even them over time, adapted. They're more talkative, more understanding, and even not so much siding with the grandkids, but understanding that, well, you have to do things differently nowadays.
Well, yeah, well, Lance, at some point that feels like abuse. Frying pan thrown at you.
Nah,
Jesus,
abuse is putting Vicks in the eyes. Yeah.
that's bullying.
I can't
But
open my eyes. Well, now you can sleep. Good night, Joseph.
yeah, hey, but there's always, like for me, for example, like I grew up, my family was separated, like me and my kids. So I grew up, and every time my uncle would come around, and dude, I will shake. I will shake. I was like, "Who called you?" He was like, "Oh, I'm here to see you." And I'm like, yeah, you see me like, holy fuck. But sometimes like he would just pop up, or he would like see me running around, and he would just snap his fingers. I'm like,
I would get calls from my uncles if I didn't call my grandma after a certain period of time in South Dakota.
oh,
My grandmother and I we had a really special relationship, the two of us. And if I didn't call her, if I let so many months go by or whatnot without calling, pick up the phone, saying hi, she would just walk by one of my uncles, or they'd be over to her house talking. And she'll just go, "You know who I haven't heard from in a long time?" And that night, I would get a phone call, and the owner's like, "When was the last time you talked to Grandma?" I'm calling her right now, and I'd hang up the phone, call her up, and she would give me shit for about 2 minutes, and then it was back to normal, as if nothing ever happened. That's just, you know, she
oh
would
yeah.
do that friendly reminder. Um, then you have and I mean, we're bouncing around topics here, and complaints that I know have been eating both of us up inside over time. Then you have these family members that just won't call. Why? They expect you to do it, or they expect the children to do it. Well, then you just keep waiting. Because, like, my kids, they're not big phone kids. They don't talk on the phone. They'd rather see you in person, or they'll text you. They won't even video chat. That's not the same. Video chatting is not the same. They'd rather be there in person or text you. They're more that type. Um, but my mom, a Filipino mother, woman, she'll call. Well, I heard you haven't called me in a while. I'm wondering if you still love your Lola. Yes, Lola, we love you. Okay. Well, how you doing? And she would listen, and they'd talk. She'd ask questions about their life, and they'd talk. But she would call. But then you have some family members that just won't call. Up until the day they die, they won't call. They just leave you, and say, well, the reason why they don't talk is the kids don't call her. And yes, I'm speaking of someone in particular. And it's like, hey, you don't want to suck it up and call them to say, I miss you. I really wish you would call me, but how are you doing? Now that I got you on the phone, how are you doing? But knowing the conversation and the person and the way the conversation would go is, well, you haven't called me. So this is what I've been doing. And about 45 minutes of what this person has been doing, and one question about your life, and then that's the end of the phone call right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's part of it. He, just that's your mom. She never called to talk to my kids. It happens. It happens.
Hey,
Like
I made a Filipino woman, my mother, I made her apologize. I got her to apologize. I got her
dude,
something God Almighty could not do. And it wasn't
Dude,
I didn't do it on purpose. It's just we were both stubborn. We're both
yeah,
stubborn people.
like I heard when I was growing up, I heard the story about my mother making my grandmother kneel down and ask for forgiveness. And I was like, I looked at my mom and she looked at me. She goes, "Yeah, I got that power." I'm like, "Well, what?" She goes, "What?" I'm like, "You were not
Es
here.
diablo. Es diablo.
Diablo está niña." I was like, you're not gonna get me doing that. And she called me before she passed away. Like it was like after my son was born. I think it was in October 2018. She calls me up and she goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, I'm looking at the phone like,
The hell?
"Hello? Hey, it's me, mommy. I gotta call hell. Did it freeze over? Somebody calling to report something?" I'm like, "What's up?" He goes, "Oh, by the way, how you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm okay. How's my grandson?" I'm like, "Oh, he's doing good." "Oh, I gotta say one thing." I'm like, "What?" "I'm sorry for everything I did." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm dying tomorrow."
Yeah. There's going to be a UPS package with a slipper in it. And a note saying, just beat
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh, yeah. Open this up and you're like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" But in the fact, but in the other side, like me and my ex, we were talking a while ago. She said that that she had a little bit of fear when it came to me and my kids because last time I wasn't in a happy place. And yes, I accepted, I wasn't in a really happy place. But the same fact, like I would not hurt them the way I got hurt. I would discipline them because I'm not going to let them jump into what I did in an early age. I want to keep them the way they are, being kids, keep going, doing your thing, but being the firm father, it's difficult because yes, there is not a manual for fatherhood or for parenthood. Basically, parenthood there is no single manual. We learn as we go.
Plenty of tutorials, and they're
Yeah,
all worthless.
our parents grew up. They had kids. They were trying to learn what their parents learned with us. They don't work. Passed it on to us. We went the other way. Now we have kids, and we're trying to like, wait. I went through this. Let me go back into my manual. Hold on. Page 522 B7. Right here. Okay, got you. I did that. Do this. Why? Just do it. I'm telling you, why? That road doesn't lead to good things. But, you know, sometimes, as children, we don't appreciate our parents. Sometimes our parents don't appreciate us. Our kids don't do the same. We don't do the same. It's,
There's something,
it,
though, that we as parents and we as children and our children and our parents, the collective, I should say, need to understand. We didn't ask to be brought into the world. Our kids did not ask to be brought in this world. We chose to bring them into this world. Our parents chose to bring us to the world. Even though we didn't ask for it, we should show appreciation that, hey, we're alive now and we get to experience all these things.
yeah,
So it trickles, it kind of, they say shit rolls downhill. Well, then it rolls up and downhill when it comes to that. You gotta show the appreciation back to your parents. Your children should be showing a little bit of appreciation to you. And at the same time, you show them the appreciation. I appreciate you appreciating me. I know it
yeah,
sounds kind of goofy, but it's true. Your kids do something for you, you want to do something back for them. Like my daughter made me dinner last night. Made us dinner, the two of us. She cooked. Fuck it, it was awesome too. Um, I don't know how to return the favor. So it's like, the next, tonight didn't do anything, but tomorrow I might do something. I might make her favorite dish, or I might teach her how to make another dish because she wants to learn how to cook, and it's just it ends up going back and forth. The appreciation value, and it's
Hmm.
that's what then once you get that going, it's habit, and you don't even think about it. It's natural.
Yeah. It's like sometimes, like you said, the appreciation goes all the way back because sometimes even because I remember me like I don't know why why you brought me into this world or in the moment of rage you're like I don't know why you brought me to this world and what grandma and grandpa brought you to this world and who brought them into the world and told them that they can have you so I can be in this world. Where is the fine print? I gotta read that paper.
I didn't sign no damn contract.
I was perfectly fine in purgatory. You should have left me there.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
but as I do appreciate every now and then I will call my dad now and then and like we were talking a few days ago and I'm like, hey dad, how you doing? He was like, oh, I'm doing okay. He goes, I'm proud of what you become, even though I wasn't around. I'm like, it's the first time I actually hear you say these words. And he goes like, you know, I've been looking at my life and been seeing and you grown to be a great man and your sisters and I'm like, okay, so I'm like, thank you and all that stuff, but at the same time, I kind of like became a little jerk type wise, and I'm like, what's next? Tell me what you did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the problem with us. We're already used to a certain standard that when somebody starts, oh, this is okay, what's going on? What you do?
Yeah. Honey, I love you. How much is it?
Oh, me love you long time, $5.
You want to get the?
Huh?
That's okay. I
Oh,
do it for you. Only $5 more. Yeah.
emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it changes things when you start to give and get, and you turn around and want to give again. You know, and it's easy to lose all of it.
Yes.
All of it. It takes but not even half a second to lose it all. And especially like when it comes to your kids, all it takes is to lie to them.
Yes.
The moment
To
you
anybody, you
moment
know,
you lie to them, that's the end of that.
anybody, like anybody, any person, and particularly, like you're gonna be in a relationship, everything's going perfect. Trust is the thing that gets lost, and like you can lose it really quick. It takes it takes forever to gain the trust, but it takes seconds to break it. Like once you break that trust, you're like, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, and then it's like, and then it's hard for you to try to amend for it. And for example, like myself, like yeah, when I was dating my ex, my kid's mom, I had before her, I had talked to a few girls and all that stuff. So
Here we go.
I left everything on my phone, messages there on my phone. I didn't care. I was with somebody else. I wasn't texting to that person,
But you didn't get rid of the
but
messages.
I left the messages there. You know, I forgot about it. I changed phones and I okay. So she goes like, "Who's this and who's this?" I'm like, "What? Who's this?" Oh, people that I talked to before you.
Oh, that's
Oh,
just
but
a
why
that's
you
just a
still?
friend.
Yeah, but why do you still have their messages? I'm like, I haven't erased nothing from the other phone. I changed phones. Oh, I said, oh, but and then I'll go and then going through the stuff, hearing them complain and all stuff. I will stop them right in the middle of the conversation and be like, "Why are you checking my phone?" Oh, because I want to see what you're doing. Let me see your phone. No. Oh.
Ah. Aha.
There we go.
Aha. See? Now, I do appreciate and understand a certain level of privacy we all would like to have. You know, like for men, you don't go in his wallet. That's just, you don't go through his wallet. For women, they don't want you going through their purse. You know, say nowadays that's the phone. But at the same time, one, why do you feel like you have to go through the phone? The moment you say, like you see the TikToks, honey, let me see your phone, and the guy just hands it over. Well, why are you praising the man for handing the phone over and not chastising the woman for even asking the question, let me see your phone?
Hmm.
Or vice versa. Vice versa. Honey, darling, let me see your phone. And she hands it over. Why should you even test,
Wow.
the trust? Now, the moment you see something that puts the suspicion in there, then I said, let me see your phone. What did I do to make you not trust me? You know, like, well, I saw this pop up or something like that. It's like, here's my phone. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah,
And the
like
moment they hand it over, now this works. This can work a reverse psychological way. Is, oh, she handed me the phone. She must have done that. No, I'm not gonna go through it. I trust you. Meanwhile, she turns around and walks away. Dodge that bullet. You know, um, or you do something like what I did, and I'm gonna admit it because I know it'll be brought up if two particular people are watching, and I wouldn't be
you clone your
surprised if they
phone,
weren't.
you clone
Uh,
it.
yeah, 10 plus years ago, the first time my ex had an affair. It was a virtual affair. It was just texting back and forth and exchanging of pictures. He'd send her videos and stuff like that. And when I started suspecting things were more than friendly, I put a keylogger on her laptop just to see, are my suspicions correct. Now, hate me, that's fine. I did what I did. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. But it confirmed the suspicion and all that. The trust at that point, gone. Constant lying about it, constant, oh, there's nothing going on, you know. Uh, so much so that the trust between a mother and daughter was also violated because I had found a thumb drive in the pillowcase, her pillowcase. Not here's where the pillow goes in, not over here, all the way in the corner of the pillowcase. I found a thumb drive. I don't know if I told you this story.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
remember, like,
yeah.
I, I, I remember.
I found a thumb drive, and I asked her about it. It's not mine. It must be one of the kids. They must have dropped it. So I went to the kids. I said, "Is this yours?" The youngest one was a little too young to understand, but the oldest was, I can't remember how old she was. Probably about maybe 12, maybe 10, 10 to 12, somewhere thereabouts. Her first words out of her mouth were, "Dad, I've never seen that before in my life. My school thumb drive is right here." She's not going to waltz into CVS or somewhere like that and buy a thumb drive, you know. And this was brand new because the package was still in the garbage can. Our garbage can, mind you, in our bedroom. Um, I came back to the ex and I said, "This is not the kids. This parent, this mother, this grown woman stormed over to the daughter's room, screamed and yelled at her, 'Why are you lying to your father? You know that's yours. Why are you lying to him? Tell the truth. You know that's yours.'" Uh, you realize how badly you just screwed up now, not only as a parent, but as a human being, as a mother, as a parent, as a human being, as a wife. Blaming using your child to hide your infidelity. the relationship at that point between all of us has changed. It took a while, and it was not even maybe a week, 2 weeks after that. She said, "Yeah, that was mine." He was going to tell me how to back up all this stuff onto the thumb drive so I could erase it from my computer. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's what I figured. I didn't say it. I thought it, but I didn't say it because I shouldn't have had to say it. Did you even go in the room and apologize to your daughter for blaming her? Which she never did. So that's how quickly, and not only that, but how freely someone can throw it around. Just I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. You know, and it's like I don't expect when and the same goes for a spouse. Doesn't matter, husband, wife, doesn't matter. Spouse cheating, as long if there's kids involved, a spouse cheating on their spouse. Do you realize you just betrayed not only your spouse's trust but your children's trust? They look up to you for how to act, how to behave, how to be when they grow up, how to act morally. They're looking for the moral, value that you're teaching them. What are you teaching them at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's okay. You know, do what you want, live your best life. You know, how does that? What type of what are you setting for your children at that point? So the kids aren't going to trust you at that point. How can I trust my mom to tell me right and wrong, or my dad to tell me right and wrong, if they're doing all this stuff and betraying the person they chose to spend the rest of their life with?
That's true. That's true.
Trust
You know,
is like you said, you can lose it in seconds, and it does take forever to build up. You can regain trust and get it back, but just understand whatever you did to break that trust, that person will never forget it. They'll
that's
trust you
true.
again, but they'll never forget what you did, because that is especially between two emotionally bonded people, that is a serious emotional crusher, so to speak. That really eats away a chunk of your heart and your soul has just been ripped off and will never come back.
That is true. That is true. It's like right now. Let's put it this way. You know how like you got Mother's Day, you got Valentine's, you got Father's Day coming up. So you go out of your way. That is going out of your way completely buying a gift. Here you go. Oh, why you have to be so cheap? You like a cheap idiot that don't appreciate me. You will buy like $70 worth of Gunpla or bottle kits or whatever it is you do, you know, and you can only buy me a $20 bouquet of rose, but they would throw it to the floor,
mm.
and then you're like, okay, because it happened to me last year's Mother's Day. I I gave her, oh, this is okay. So I went and took it, picked it up, walked with it all the way to the garbage. Why you threw it away? You threw it to the floor. They don't like it. Call me cheap. I come out of my way. I went and bought dinner to cook. It is not how much I spend. It's the detail.
Yeah.
Sometimes like expensive gifts. Oh, he spent this much, but it won't last you that much. Small details. Cooking dinner for you on a special day that I think you're coming home late and you're tired. Oh, go take a shower. Get ready. The kids are asleep. I got everything. The house is clean. I got you dinner. Just go do your thing.
Mm.
Relax. What you do? Nothing. Why you like this? You can't appreciate what I'm doing. The same way it goes the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is for both. whoever, whoever spouse it is or boyfriend, whatever, does it, we question it. Woman does it, is it poison?
Now, I would be guilty of that, and it there's times where, like, I'll ask her to come see me at lunch when she's got her day off, but I don't get days off during the week. I have them on the weekend, and I've tried to meet up with her for lunch once or twice. It doesn't work out too well, or she's only got 30 minutes or something like that. You know, and then I just stopped trying. I was like, well, I don't know when she's had lunch or whatever, so I'm not gonna try. That doesn't mean I should have stopped trying. I should have still gone to try show up and whatnot, And it's you fall into the, well, it's too little, too late now, and it's like, well, I'm here, So you can either, and in that respect, you can either go too little, too late, or better late than never. So you choose which direction you want to go. It's like, well, it's years and whatnot now. Job wise was a little more difficult as well. If you've got an office job and she's got a retail job, it's not easy to make it happen. That doesn't mean you can't still show up, show your face, and say, just wanted to come by and see you. That's all. If you're free and you can take a break, let's go grab a bite to eat.
Yeah,
And I'm guilty of that, and that's on me.
I done the same thing. Because I remember back a few years back, I was in Jersey. Me and my ex used to work together. Now, mind you, I would get home and I would cook all like dinners myself and all that stuff. But I would show up sometimes and drop off a gift. She goes like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, brought you this," or I will send for like some flowers. Oh, who sent this to me? I don't know. Okay, but the same thing is like after a while, after I left the company and all that stuff, I was working, driving trucks every day. We'll go in at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not 7 o'clock at night when I'm coming out. I get home, and by that time we had our firstborn, and I'm like, okay, it's understandable. Oh, can you help me clean up the toys? I'll pick them up. Oh, but why are you looking around? There's more people in the house. What's going on? Oh no, they had things to do. Okay. Oh, but either way, you can't take care of your responsibilities and do this, or you won't be able to take care of the kid yourself. You want to try me? I tried it, and nowadays, I'm glad that I did because it gave me a perspective of how I should be as a parent and how other people do things, and I will see it from my own eyes. The difficult task it is because most parents they have kids. Oh, we're dropping them at daycare. Not the same thing. You working from home, having to deal with a brand new baby, walking around doing laundry, buying groceries, doing stuff, and seeing, oh, she don't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate it before. I didn't do this, and it's like a circle. Everything goes on a circle. If I don't appreciate it, they're not going to appreciate me. So if we break that cycle and start appreciating, we might get it back in return. We might not. Hey, it's just a try.
Yeah.
Without trying, we don't know what's going to happen. But it's part of life. Like it's like what you've been on. I'm like sometimes I'm in the life. I'm like, there we go again, building shit, and I can't. I start complaining. I'm like, wait a second, I got my stuff in my storage. Why am I complaining about him? Oh, because he's teasing me. Look what I got. Look what I got. I'm like, oh,
Oh, I
it's
didn't show
bad.
you the. I didn't show you what new I got.
Hey, 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 hey. I want to hear it.
Yeah,
I
you
already
do.
saw
Yeah,
you.
you do.
Or,
Yeah, you do.
you know, I already saw. What you got. You got the Barbados. You got the Wing Zero.
I got the big Tony.
You got the Tony,
I got the big Tony.
dude. Speaking of that, you remember I told you I went to Hobbytown, right?
Yeah.
They had the high grade Devil's Pikachu.
Mm.
I saw the box and I'm like,
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
the box was like this big.
It's the size. It's the size of a perfect grade.
Yeah, I was like, and the guy just looking at me, he goes like, oh, because there was somebody there. He goes like, oh, that must be a perfect grade or something. And I'm like, I looked at him. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, And he's with another guy that builds Gundam. They see my shirt and they're like, oh yeah, I like the Gundams, the grades and all that stuff. That's probably a perfect grade.
No, sir. That's a high grade.
I'm like, what did you say? He goes, it's a perfect grade. I'm like, you build Gundams, yeah. You know the grades of the Gundam, yes. So I grabbed one, the L Strike, real grade. What's this? Oh, an L Strike. Okay, what grade? Oh, that's a real grade. Perfect. I grabbed the other one. They had the master grade L Strike. And then I'm like, it's MG, right? Yeah. It's a master grade. Yeah. What does that say? Oh, it's an HG. High, whatever. I'm like, it's a high grade. So what does that mean? I'm like, that is supposed to be
And least
the
cumbersome thing to
smallest
build.
one that we got, which is not the little SD ones, but it's supposed to be like that, you know, and it will be so. And he goes like, but why is it so big? I'm like, because they decided to make a Devil Pikachu so big, and then
Yeah.
they had it next. Then they had it next to the chicken, the, the chicken Gundam, the
Oh
Penelope,
God.
the
That's a
Penelope.
that's a big box too.
And I'm like, hmm. So looking around, I found this Gundam. The price I wouldn't pay for it. It's a master grade.
It's a
It's
high
nine.
grade Pikachu.
Your Shenlong is coming soon. Thank you. Woohoo!
I mean,
Hey! Turn around. Turn around.
just to show what he's talking about, this is just the upper body
Okay,
of
that
the
was
high
Pikachu.
grade Devil's Pikachu.
If
The
anybody
upper
don't know,
body,
that's correct. If anybody don't know what it is, it's Night Gale.
the
Night Gale, the
nightingale.
Devil's Pikachu.
Now, let me show you this pilot's adversary in the anime. Same scale.
High grade. High grade, people. High grade.
This is the high grade RX-78. Automo.
Amaro.
Amaro. That's his Gundam. Char's Gundam. The arm, the upper arm is from the neck to the ass of the scale is way off. Somebody's overcompensating. The box is ridiculous. It's like 1.5 feet tall by 2.5 feet long. The box.
Okay. So you got the Eevee, or the Eevee Gundam. Which one? Which one do you have?
I got 2 EVs, but my daughter built them.
No, because he said I got the Eevee. So I'm asking if we're talking about Eevee and the Gundam or Eevee and the Pokemon. Which one? Nightgale, yeah, it's the high grade. It's kind of, it was kind of amazing finding it there. They had That they
Yeah,
had
that's
the
a
USS Kelvin, the USS Franklin from Star Trek's.
Franklin. I wouldn't mind having. I could do without the
Um,
Kelvin.
so the one that I was telling you about was $99 for this master grade Gundam. It's a Wolf Gundam. The armor is like he has the chest is like a wolf, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, huh. But it's not from Gundam. Like it's not a gun. It's not Gundam, but it's a mecha,
Is it Shotokan or something like that?
something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm looking at it. I'm like, should I take it home? And then I look up and I see all the girls up there, and I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Yeah, you get
I'm
hooked on
leaving.
those. You get hooked
I'm
on
like,
those. Those are
I'm
fun
like,
to
I'm
build.
leaving. I'm like, I'm leaving, and the guy was looking at me. He was like, "Well, we can get you onto this program, and you apply for it. If you get up to $4,000." I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm out.
Pineapples. Pineapples.
I'm out.
Pineapple juice. Pineapple juice.
Yep. Because it gets to you. This hobby it is. It's amazing. I can't wait to start the next phase, which will be 3D printing type. And at this moment, but if I do go for the 3D printing part, I might go for the resin print, just because they come up with a little bit more detail. I can paint them easier without having to do too much.
Yeah, the filament based printing, you end up you got to do a lot more work to make it nice and smooth.
Yeah, you got to bondo edge, sanding it.
Yeah, you can't print as big as the filament printing, but for what we do in the gunpla hobby, it doesn't need to be that big.
I
It doesn't.
mean, it depends. Remember, it depends on the resin print. I mean, on the resin printer, because
Well,
if you got one of the big ones, you got like.
If you can afford to get one of the big ones before me, brother, you're holding out. Those fuckers are expensive. But you can from your base, I don't want to say your base model resin printer, but like the one I have, I could probably print a master grade Gundam.
Yeah.
In pieces to snap together or put together some or whatnot. But I'm looking, I've been 3D printing for a while now, and when it comes to the Gundams, the kits, I want to do things what they call greebles, just armor plating, attachment pieces that you can CA glue on to give it extra detail. So I'm not sitting there with the plastic, cutting it, sanding it. No, I just want to glue, paint, because I can print them, and they'll have detail. They'll have panel lining already built in. They'll have etchings. They'll have, vents, thrusters, whatever. That's the beauty of the resin print is you can get all that nice detail, and it'll look factory.
Oh, one of the reasons I also left Hobbytown in a blast was because they had, which I should have grabbed it, but decided not to. They had they had the Master Chief model kit, and I walked away. I was like, nope.
Will this reach through if I slap you around a little bit?
Hey man, take your head out of my eye, bro. No, but the only reason, for me was the only reason I didn't buy anything today was because of the trip. I'm trying to save that money so I can go see the boys.
Priorities.
That's the only reason why I was like, nope.
Priorities.
But if it wasn't because of that, I would have been like, I'm taking this one, and I'm taking this one. So they got like the thing that got me with my local hobby town was they got rid of all the SDs they had.
Why?
There was no space for SD. There was no SDs there, and I'm like, what's going on? She goes like,
What a shame.
it's that we don't have like we're having trouble getting our hands on Bandai product. And I'm looking, I see Dragon Ball Z, I see all these
But
stuff, and I'm like,
yeah,
you're really getting a hard time getting on that. But they had the Ninja
you should
Turtle,
have got
the
that one. God dang it! Now
yeah,
you should have got that one. I don't know if you can see it. The red Raiden looking chick with the oh my gosh, yeah, you should have gotten that one.
oh, she's there,
I
she's
I
over
would
there.
have I would have gotten that one. That's for sure.
You know,
I would have gotten her too.
I can go back tomorrow and get it. But priorities.
See, priority and pussy, they both start with P. You can interchange them. They're the same thing.
Kids money, kids money, kids money.
Ah, you had to change the letter. Damn it.
No, but you know, but they had a lot of stuff. They had what you call it? They had a bunch of D&Ds, Warhammers. They had the army painted, like the pens, the paint systems. They had a bunch of tanks, World War II tanks, German, Russians, United States. They had Christopher's Columbus ship. They had a bunch of stuff there, and I'm like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I haven't been to the big one since that one time I went. Um, I don't know what they have, if they have anything new now, but it was the Gundam
Thank
section
you.
there was a bit disappointing. Um, everything else looked fine, but it was a little disappointing. Uh, what I did see that I kind of liked and I wouldn't mind having is the Thunderbird models
Okay.
of all the Thunderbird ships
Yeah.
and vehicles. And I was like, I never got into the Thunderbird just because I wasn't a big. Let's just say the puppets creep me out. Um, but that doesn't mean I wasn't a fan of them. I wouldn't mind having Thunderbird 1, 2, all separate, and on display and whatnot. Um,
You can build them and then go, America.
Fuck yeah. Um, also, I'm going to be trying something new, and that is trying to figure out how to use these. The Mr. Weathering.
Okay.
I want to have, well, the Master Grade, full armor Master Grade. I got to tear him apart because I got the you were on the phone with me, I think, when I ordered it, the add-on weaponry for it. I want to make that thing just completely weathered. So I got like rust and whatever, and I got gray, or is this white? The white, because I wanted
Okay.
to try on black pieces to put this on to see if I can panel line the white with this. You're supposed to be able to just brush it on and then wipe it off, and all the excess comes off, and everything that remains should be. Because I got a compliment from Hobby Volt that she liked the silver panel lining on my Zeta, so I'm gonna start doing that from now on. She's hot. Sorry.
I got no words. Hobby Bolt, if you're watching this, we will love to have you in the podcast. I promise he'll be in his best behavior. He will. He will behave.
I can't. I've been told. I've been told never to lie, and I can and not make promises I can't keep.
Well, whatever behavior he's in that day, it's his best.
It's the best that day. It may not
That
be
is,
the best tomorrow or the
that
day
is the best
before.
today. That is the best that day.
No,
No, but
of course I'll be, of course I'll behave. I'll just, yeah.
but you know how it is. You know, it's just a little bit of everything. You know, just remember, guys, just appreciate one another. If you got somebody in the corner, you know, hey, thank you for, you know, even if it's the guy that you stop at the light and he cleans your windshield,
You still got
it's a
those?
dollar, but it's a dollar, $5, but you know, but some people, you know, it's like I have encountered some people like that they clean my windshield. I'm like, here's a dollar. No, no, no. I just wanted to do it. You ate? No. Here's my food. Oh, but wait. I appreciate you. Thank you. You know, just say thank you to, you know, to anybody, you know. Whoever does something for you, you know, thank you. Even if the person don't respond back, you just got that word out, you know. It
Oh,
makes their day.
you mentioned something about here's my food. It reminded me what my eldest did. Someone came into where she works, asked if uh, they could spare something to eat, and my daughter said absolutely, you know, and she started making them something to eat. I said, "Do you want this?" I said, "Just the basics, fine." It's like, "No, what do you want? You tell me." And she made this person a pizza, got him the big size and all that stuff, a drink, let him sit and eat and whatever. And he was homeless, and she did all of that. You know, he was just gonna he was I guess he was gonna be content with just a cheese pizza.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "No, what do you want on it? Can I get some meat? Absolutely. Which ones? You know, you want them all? What do you want? You know, let's put some vegetables on there. You know, I'll make you a small salad you can take with you or something like that." She did that, and I was so proud of her. You know, you know, it 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 probably made his day that somebody just didn't even question it and just did it without even
Mm-hmm.
thinking. She's like, "Absolutely. What do you want?"
Yeah.
You know.
You know, sometimes we forget that there are people out there that are worse than us. And if we can spread that little bit of joy or making somebody's day better, right? Like with me, I have helped people, and oh, I got you back. Don't help me, pay it forward.
Help somebody
That's the
else.
best. That's the best thing to do. You know, you help me, I'll help somebody else, and that person, you know, just help it forward. You know, pay it forward, pay it forward, pay it forward. You know, is the way to go. But you know, when it comes, you know, to us Gumpla builders, you know, if you are a big name, stop by my life, say hi.
Oh
Doesn't take
my
long.
God, you had to bring that up.
Yeah, I had to.
and
Sorry, but
and no, no matter what anyone has said to anybody, I do not block people that do not say hi, and I never said I would ever block anyone that didn't say hi. But
yeah, you know,
to touch on what Zach Efron said, if you come in there for any length of time, just say hi. Just say sorry, I goofed up. I was swiping through and I accidentally went in your live. Just say, hey, how's it going? You know, got to run.
I seen it.
Just wanted to say hi.
Hi.
Um, I've seen so many big name Gunpla builders that just don't even uh
Is this the Diverster podcast?
um they just did that don't even say hi. So
If you tell us that it's not it is not what it is, hey, you know, what can I say? It is, it is your way of feeling, but it's good, it's good. Yeah, but saffron is my spirit animal. Yeah, it's like over here, we got Pancho Villa, but we're good. Hey, don't look at me. I'm Quixote. You're Pancho.
I'm sorry, but me poor jefe doesn't have your superior intellect and intelligence.
Of course, that's that's why that's why it always like that. But